Hi, welcome to our series of short videos on the new normal. I'm Mary Abazia from the Impact Planning Group, and with me is Tom Spitali and Sean Wellen. Hi, guys.
Hi.
Mary.
Throughout this pandemic, we have been conducting global planning sessions along with our clients, and we've been using Zoom, of course, and our toolkit, and we've been learning some pretty valuable lessons that we wanted to share with you. So Sean is going to share now what we're finding about changing needs. Sean?
Thanks, Mary. Yeah, the first video, Tom talked about the influencers, which is the first step in our online toolkit, which we'll talk some more about later. And not to give too much away, Mary's going to be talking about segmentation in the next video. And the bridge that puts those two things together is what we call the benefits ladder, understanding what really matters to the customer. And through this pandemic, as Tom explained on the previous video, not only do the influencers change in their degree of influence, but what they care about, the benefits they're looking for also change. Let me share my screen and give you an example of something that's just very recently come into our world. And it's something that we're not overly familiar with. And it's this environment here, the TV studios where we have the gallery where the directors and the producers and all the technical people make the magic happen, where TV shows get created. And one of our clients is in the controls business. And as you can see from this picture, there's a lot of controls in this environment. But this is a terrible place given the current pandemic. This is a hotspot for potential transmission. You've got people in close proximity. It's a very dynamic environment. You've got a lot of work surfaces that are constantly touched from one control to the other. And not only that, the crews that work in these booths rotate almost 24 hours a day. They have different people coming in. So you've got this high throughput, close proximity, shared services, and as a consequence, not much production is going on at the moment because of the risk of infection. So our client,
It sounds a lot like some other environments that our B2B clients operate in.
right?
Kind of like control rooms. A lot of our clients have controls, like even in the oil field industry, some of our clients make controls that are used in those kinds of control rooms, or even some of our medical device clients. There's not necessarily a control room, but there's controls on the device passed along from healthcare worker to healthcare worker. So I think this applies the same, does it not?
I think so. And you know what, Tom? It's also interesting because you remember there was a big spike in hospital-acquired infections a few years ago, and some of the solutions then are actually applicable now. That was trying to stop, MRSA and other pathogens being spread in a hospital. Very similar situation that we've got now. But going to our toolkit, looking at this client, we could see that the influencers where you started off, Tom, they were changing. Traditionally, the studio heads, maybe the technical managers were the go-to customers for these products. But with the event of this pandemic, trade unions, don't forget this is still a fairly unionized business, their influence has grown because they represent the health and safety of their members. Also, the TV directors, they've always been involved, but more so now because unless this environment is workable, they can't work. This is putting a block on the whole thing. But not only has the influence changed, and this is the point, what they care about changes. Whereas before you've got responsiveness of controls, all that stuff's important. Robustness, these things are, they're hit pretty hard 24 hours a day. But look what comes up. COVID safe environment. Nobody would have said that a year ago, but now it's critical. And in fact, if you use our toolkit to start to prioritize some of those, you see that it's number one, because without this, it doesn't work. So this creates opportunities in the short term, disposable and temporary solutions like plastic covers that fit over the controls and can be used once and then thrown away. More expensive, and this goes back to Tom, your point on medical devices, sealed keyboards, so as you can spray them and wipe them down with disinfectant, something that we found in the hospitals a few years ago. But it's also opened a whole new opportunity of remote controls, of having the whole interface controlled from an individual's iPad, so no one else has to touch it. And it creates not only the COVID safe environment potentially, but it adds a whole dimension of opportunity in how this whole production process could happen in the future. And I guess that's the point. when we're faced with a challenge, an unexpected event, there's always opportunity, and finding opportunity is really what is the only thing you can do if you're in the sort of innovation, product management, marketing space.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thank you, Sean. Hopefully you're finding ways to keep a pulse on your customers' changing needs in this post-pandemic. And if you are planning to plan anytime soon, we're here to help you. There's a link also in this message for you to have access to both the videos and the toolkit. So thank you so much.